"Did you see that?" Rocky asked, but the man looked like he saw a ghost and quickly turned to run. Rocky thought, "This guy must be up to something. I can't let him get away." Rocky chased him, but the men sprinted like a lion's prey. Amusing yet suspicious, Rocky thought, "He's not simple." Unfortunately, just as Rocky was about to catch him, the mysterious man vanished. Rocky had his colleagues sketch him and launched a citywide manhunt. Frank saw the news and instantly thought, "We might have the wrong person." He sought Keller to release Alex but was refused with a shake of head. His wife was skeptical of his unusual behavior, leaving Frank frustrated. Frank had no choice but to spill the beans. When his wife arrived, Alex looked like a beaten pulp, breaking her heart. She pulled out a photo and anxiously asked, "Have you seen my wife?" But Alex just sat there tight-lipped. Keller, in his determination to make Alex talk, barricaded the entire restroom, thinking, maybe the truth will finally knock on the door in the dark. Frank couldn't take it anymore and made up his mind to smash the wood and free Alex. He thought, "Not only do I want to save him, but I also need to save my sanity." Just then, Frank's wife suddenly said, "Think about our daughter." That struck Frank like a sledgehammer. Yes, she still hadn't come home, and the thought was like 1,000 needles in Frank's heart. Meanwhile, Keller's wife heard strange noises in the night that made her heart race. She felt someone had broken in, so she went out to check, but found nothing. She quickly informed Rocky and was worried it might have something to do with their daughter, Anna. Rocky dropped his chits and jotted down the details. Rocky did a sweep but found no suspicious characters, instead realizing that Keller hadn't been seen in 2 days. He asked Keller's wife and learned she was too busy searching for their daughter. Rocky was shocked and thought, something big must be happening. Keller was dyeing a hot water heater for Alex in the cabin. Alex's screams left Keller in despair. Keller was confused whether it was right or wrong until Alex suddenly said something that left him scratching his head. Alex seemed to mutter to himself, confusing Keller more as he listened. At that moment, Rocky discovered a clue to Keller's father's old house. Rocky suspected Keller kidnapped Alex, so quietly investigated. Rocky carefully opened the window and jumped in, only to find Keller huddled on the ground like a scared cat. Keller pretended to be tipsy while talking to Rocky, but regardless of what he said, Rocky was adamant about searching the house, continuing to check every room. As Rocky moved closer to Alex's room, Keller felt a knot in his stomach. Just then, the phone rang. When Rocky answered, he learned someone had seen the person in. Rocky quickly wrote down the address and rushed over without hesitation. When he knocked on the door, the mysterious man from that night answered. Rocky wanted to confront him about running away, but the guy looked as nervous as a kitten. Rocky seized the opportunity to subdue him and called for backup, starting his investigation of the house. Rocky noticed the strange black boxes, and his heart sank, fearing they contained kidnapped kids. He anxiously opened one. To his relief, he only found children's clothing, but then a snake suddenly sprang out, nearly giving him a heart attack. Regardless, Rocky opened all the boxes, yet no kids were found. However, in the last box, he stumbled upon a strange stack of books. Rocky asked Keller to check if any of the clothes belonged to Anna, and upon seeing them, Keller immediately broke into tears. He felt a jolt within, and didn't comprehend the significance. The police then began to interrogate the mysterious man. The man's name was Bob, and he looked smart, but he was just as tight-lipped as Alex. Bob was drawing mazes on paper, and when Rocky approached to ask what it meant, Bob simply ignored him. Rocky's anger ignited, and he suddenly began to pummel Bob, perhaps thinking the kids were in grave danger and desperate for answers. Despite his colleagues trying to pull him off, Bob snatched a gun from one of them and ended up taking his own life during the scuffle. Later, Keller finally received a lead from Alex, who said, "We're lost in a maze." Keller anxiously asked, "Where's the maze?" But Alex remained silent. Frustrated, Keller found Alex's aunt, hoping to get some clues, but he didn't dare mention the kidnapping. Unfortunately, he didn't get any leads on the maze during the conversation. Meanwhile, Rocky returned to the office feeling lower than low and began to throw things around. The more he thought about it, the more anxious he became. Just as he was about to throw something at the wall, a photo on the floor caught his eye. To his excitement, Rocky discovered that the man trapped by the priest had a maze pendant that looked just like Bob's drawing. The police quickly searched Bob's house and found 2 battered child mannequins. The forensics team stated that upon examining the items in Bob's home, they found that the blood in the clothes was just pig blood. They believed Bob's actions were like role-playing. He too had been kidnapped and lost his memory, as if tangled in a maze. Rocky still couldn't understand why Anna's clothes were in the boxes, and how Bob's maze tied into the phrase about death. It all felt like a puzzle with no solution for Rocky. He could only tell himself, stay calm, the chaos is temporary. Suddenly, Rocky thought of something and pulled out his notebook. He recalled that Callo's wife had said someone had been to their house. Rocky decided to revisit Callo's house for a thorough check, thinking, maybe the truth is right here. This is where the story begins. Want to find out what happens next? Don't forget to subscribe.